Hello everyone and welcome to another video and welcome to Mason Thill episode 2. At the end of episode 1, our man was trying to get Denise to invest and I said we were going to take a look at the website that he directed her to. Here's that website. Let's see what happens if we try to register and open an account. We'll get Annie to open an account and put in false information. Well, it appears to have let Annie open an account. I'll just hop onto her email and see what the email says. Here's that email. It says, kindly proceed with funding your account by clicking on the Buy Assets button from your account dashboard if aforementioned investment plan conforms with your desired investment goals, or send us a reply if you need any adjustments on your account. Okay, so we're going to confirm her account. And now we'll do as instructed. We're clicking on the Buy Assets button. Buy Asset. So she's going to fill in her details and she's going to send them $1,000 and she can send it with, oh look, MoneyGram, bank wire transfer, Perfect Money, Bitcoin, PayPal, Western Union or MoneyGram. We'll send it with MoneyGram. Click here to submit requests. Now before we go any further guys, I hope you can see that this is definitely not a genuine investment company. Any genuine investment company would require you to confirm your identity before you funded your account. They simply wouldn't be allowed to accept your money otherwise. They would be registered with the relevant financial authorities in whichever country they claim to be registered in. You might have to look that up. And this company, as I'll show you in a minute, claims to be registered in the UK. And they would be required to undertake a KYC or know your customer procedure before you were allowed to fund your account. And that would be a full identity verification, including proper documents, not just clicking on a link in an email. But we're going to click here to submit our request, funded by MoneyGram. Now, let's go back to the Cedar Invest website and do a little bit more digging. Here it is again. I said this company was allegedly based in the UK. How do I know that? Let's look at Contact Us. And here's their address. Cedar Investments Limited, The Apex, 2 Sheriff's Orchard, Coventry, West Midlands. Well, let's put that address into Google. And the data at Companies House tells us that there are 585 companies registered at this address. In other words, it's one of those addresses that just allows people to use it if they're registering a company. And just before we go any further, in case you're thinking this website here is Companies House, it isn't. This is the Companies House website. It's part of the UK government website. Now let's go to their FAQs and look at who is Cedar Invest exactly, how does it work? Cedar Invest, it informs me, is a leading financial investment management firm. And then it goes on to say, we're a fiduciary, which means we put your interests first. I don't think you can be a fiduciary. I think it's an adjective. It is indeed an adjective, which means it tells you something about a noun, such as we are a fiduciary agent or we are a fiduciary institution. And you can see here that it's defined in finance as depending for its value on securities or the reputation of the issuer. So you'd be a fiduciary agent. Okay. And it carries on, when you open an account with Cedar Invests, our team of professional fund managers handles your portfolio. Okay, let's put we're a fiduciary which means we put your interests first into Google and see what it comes up with. And here are the results. Look, there's the Merit Finance, which says when you open the Merit Finance account, we pick the funds for you, making recommendations. There's also Cedar Invests. When you open an account with Cedar Invests, our team of professional fund managers handles your investments. There's ISG Financial, which says when you open an LSG account, we advise you on what your portfolio should include. There's Blueville Capital, all our portfolio strategies are globally diversified. There's Comfort Access, there's Crystal Pay Funds, there's Blue Trade Finance, and so it goes on. BeverlyInvestment.net, and that's only on page 1 of Google. So there are loads and loads of these fake websites, all using the same text. Does that sound like the kind of way that you would set up a legitimate investment website? I don't think so. Now let's go back to About Us. Who are we? Who we are, it says, Cedar Invests, also referred to as Cedar Investment Management Limited, is one of the world's leading investment firms. The firm was founded in 2004 by Michael John Clayton, our chairman and chief executive officer, and Matthew Drury, who retired as senior chairman in 2011. The firm's headquarters was moved from Cayman Island to the United Kingdom upon incorporation in 2013. Over the last 5 years, Cedar Invests has over 25,000 investors, with a total transaction value exceeding $1 billion in the United Kingdom, United States, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Okay, let's see who Michael John Clayton is. This person appears to have 6 registrations at Companies House. I'm not going to show them to you, but they all appear to be legitimate. Now let's add Cedar Invests. And now we have a different Michael John Clayton at Companies House with a different date of birth. And he does indeed appear to be the director of Cedar Investment Management Limited. So it is registered at Companies House. Let's have a look at that company. Now let's look at some of the accounts they filed at Companies House. And the company was indeed registered in 2013. And by 2014, the company was dormant. They were filing accounts for a dormant company. That doesn't sound to me like one of the world's leading investment companies handling billions of dollars worth of accounts. Let's see what it said. It simply tells me that they had 100 shares of £1 each and no activity. And indeed, if you look further up the list, you'll find that they've filed accounts for a dormant company every year since. Hardly the activity of a company with 25,000 investors handling over $1 billion worth of business every year. I think that's enough background checks on this website for you to understand that it isn't an active investment company, and that if anyone tells you that they're going to make you large returns, 10% a month, it simply is never going to happen. And that if anyone offers you an investment, you need to do your homework, your background checks, your due diligence, and if you don't understand what you're finding, then just steer clear of them. There are so many red flags on this website, but I'm not going to show you any more because this video will just get boring. And you'll probably realise that every time I show you one of these videos where I do background checks, I do different ones because I just do what comes to me at the time. There's no definitive list of the sensible research to do. Just read what's on the website, see whether it makes sense, put some of it into Google and see what else comes up. And now, back to the action. And our man has just told Denise that he'll put her in touch with his portfolio manager. And so he sent her a Facebook profile link. "Good morning, Denise," he said. "That's his Facebook link. You should add him up and message him. He's a nice guy, and he would give you all the details and information you seek." "Okay, thanks. I'll do that," said Denise. "Okay, when you do, let me know," he said. And the scammers always say that because either they need to tell their mate to look out for your friend request, or, as often as not, they're going to receive the friend request themselves. "OK, I just did it," said Denise. "That's nice. Hopefully he'll reply your messages soon," he said, screaming for his mate, who'd gone to sleep in the next room. "How's the weather in Guildford today?" "It's warm and sunny." "No reply yet," said Denise. "I'll look again after lunch. I'm going outside now." "Oh," he said, "maybe he's a little busy with work," screaming again for his mate and getting a jug of cold water to pour over him to wake him up, "and would respond to your messages as soon as he's got the time, probably after lunch," as in when he's dried himself out. "That's pretty much a great weather you've got there," he said. A little while later, a man responded to Denise's request. "Hello," he said. "Where are you from? And I'll see if I can connect you with someone close." Denise had said, "Hi, Mason Thill told me to contact you. He said you can give me details of the investments and some testimonials and previous clients." "I live in England," she said. "Guildford." "OK," he said. "Do I create a group here with investors from the UK so you can ask your questions, or you'd rather text them directly?" "I don't mind," said Denise. "Whichever is easiest for you. A group is probably quicker." "OK," he said. "I created the group. Feel free to ask questions." And this is the group. UK Cedar Investors. There's 3 other people in it. Scott Tierney, Todd Redding and Nathan Manolo. Before we go any further, let's look at their Facebook pages. Here's Nathan Manolo. You know how it goes. He's from Madrid, he lives in London, he studied Bachelor of Accounting in Barcelona, and he's a former wind turbine technician. And his Facebook page, of course, has been here for ages. Well, at least since August last year. Now let's look at Scott Tierney's. Scott Tierney claims to be from Kirkintilloch, which is just outside Glasgow in Scotland. His equally impressive Facebook page appears to have been started in March last year. And finally, Todd Redding. He doesn't say anything about where he's from or where he lives. And yes, his impressive Facebook page was started in January this year. That gives me confidence that they're long-term investors. Or maybe it doesn't. Now let's go back to that group chat that's been created for us. "Hi, Scott Tierney, Todd Redding and Nathan Manolo," said Kyle. "I'd like to introduce you all to Denise Singleton. She's looking at investing with Cedar Invests and would like to speak to other investors from the UK to learn about their experiences so far. Your generosity with furnishing her with any information or answers to any of her questions would greatly be appreciated." "Hello, Denise. I'll be ready to help," said Todd. "Hello," said Nathan. "I'll be happy to help regards any questions you may have." So Denise started asking her questions. "How long have you all been investing with Kyle?" she asked, and then asked Todd Redding. Remember him, the one that had nothing on his profile? "Where do you live?" "Denise," he said, "I live in London, UK." "Why are you leaving?" asked Denise. Nathan replied, "Well, I've been investing with Cedar for over 5 years." "How much have you invested?" she asked. And this conversation was very, very slow. Far from being interactive and keen to help her, they were trying to avoid her. "Over 400k invested with them so far," he said. "I've made withdrawals." "My goodness," said Denise, "that's a lot. What's the current value of your investments?" "Hello," said Scott. "Scott here, from Edinburgh. You know, the one that lives just outside Glasgow." "Hi," said Denise. "Would any of you be willing to do a voice call so I can ask some questions, please? You know, so she can see what kind of accent they might all have." Todd replied, "I live in Islington, north of London." "Hold on a sec," said Nathan. "OK," said Denise in reply to Todd. "But you said you're leaving. Where are you going?" "I meant live, not leave." "Pardon," he said. And that's because if you're using text-to-speech software, the way that they pronounce live in Nigeria sounds like leave to those of us that live in the UK. "Oh, OK," said Denise. "How long have you been investing with Kyle?" she asked him. "If you want a voice conversation," said Kyle, "I can answer all of your questions." "Thanks," said Denise, "but I prefer to talk to one of your investors first. Scott, you know, the Scottish one. Could I call you, please?" "As you wish," said Kyle. "Your investors don't seem to be very keen to talk to me," said Denise. I'm going to try calling Scott. Because none of them had been answering immediately, it was just a very, very slow conversation. Denise, of course, tried calling Scott. And Scott, of course, didn't answer her. Then Nathan sent a screenshot of what was supposed to be his account. You know, the one that he's had for 5 years, and he's invested £400,000 in. He's made a profit of $6,760, apparently. I haven't investigated that screenshot, but we know it's all fake. My current account position, he added underneath. You should know, said Kyle, that some people here are working people, and if they aren't willing to talk, I can only respect their decision. And in reply to Denise asking Scott if she could call him, he said, Not today, a bit busy with the family. Nathan, said Denise, you appear to have made $10,000 in 5 years for a $400k investment. That isn't what I was promised, and I'm very disappointed that none of you will talk to me. That doesn't fill me with trust. Can I talk to you, please, Kyle? And so she called Kyle, and while she was calling Kyle, Nathan had said, You should understand that I've made some withdrawals and deposits along the line. Good for him.
Hello?
Hello, is that Kyle?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm
Can
fine.
you hear me? Hello?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, first of all, I need to make some things clear to you. You know, the investors I have here, they are actually working people. I can only, ask them to help you, but then I can't really enforce them. We need to get on the call with you. So, yeah. I really apologize. No one is actually wanting to talk to you. So, you just please be patient with them. All right?
May I ask where you're from? Where do you live?
Hello?
May I ask where you live?
I live in the UK.
Yeah, where?
London.
And where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
Okay, that's a Spanish
Yeah,
accent. That's a Spanish accent you've got, is it?
No. I have a bit of a Londoner accent.
That's a London accent, is it? All right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was brought up in London, I've never heard anyone with an accent like you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, okay.
So do you want to tell me where you're really from?
I just said that I live in London, and then I'm from Spain. My mum is actually from London, and my dad is Spanish.
Yeah, but we've agreed that's not a Spanish accent, haven't we?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Your accent, darling. You know what an accent is, do you, darling?
Yeah, sure, I do, yeah.
Yeah, and we've agreed that you don't have a Spanish accent, do you?
Yeah, I never said I had a Spanish accent, did I?
No, so that's not a Spanish accent you've got, is it? So what kind of accent is it?
Well, I'm a bit confused because I just mentioned to you that I live in London, and then your question, it kind of like throws me off balance. I don't really understand. Are we talking about the investment, or are we talking about my accent?
No, we're talking about your accent, darling. I'm trying to do my due diligence about who to invest with, and you've told me you come from Spain, but you don't. We agree you don't have a Spanish accent, and now you've told me you're from London, but I think we can agree you don't have a London accent either. So either you're telling me porky pies, or you've got an accent from somewhere else. So do you want to tell me what accent you've really got?
Okay, I've got an accent from somewhere else. Does that answer your question?
No, it doesn't. I know it's an accent from somewhere else. I want to know where else. Where else is your accent from? It's not from Spain and it's not from London, so where is it from? Can't you remember where you came from?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can't you remember what accent you've got and where you came from?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I thought you
really
could.
can. It doesn't seem like you're interested in me.
I thought you could hear me.
You don't seem interested in doing business with me.
Oh, well, but As usual, faced with the question he couldn't answer, our man has left the call. "Hi, guys," said Kyle, when the call was over. "I don't think you should waste your time here." "Can't you remember where your accent is from?" asked Denise. "Are you suffering from amnesia?" "Quite disrespectful, that," said Nathan, who shouldn't really have had any idea what Denise was talking about. "Not at all disrespectful," said Denise. "You said you have an accent from somewhere else, but you won't tell me where. I'd call that disrespectful. At least, Kyle said that. Nathan, how do you even know what I'm talking about? I wonder. So I've done my due diligence and concluded I don't trust you." "Your loss, love," said Kyle, and blocked her. Well, removed her from the group and blocked her from his own conversation. Back on Facebook, a man, of course, wasn't happy. "Hello, Denise," he said. "How are you? I didn't get any response back from you." "No," said Denise. "Your friend's a liar, and his so-called UK investors were all fake, so I won't be investing. And he blocked me. I can't even begin to imagine why. Oh, wait." "What happened?" he said. "What happened?" said Denise. "Your manager has the same accent as you do. I'm not stupid. I know where you're all from. And the other so-called investors didn't want to speak to me, presumably because I'd have realised they were all the same person. Now go away. Goodbye." "I'm surprised at you for saying this," he said. "But it's fine if you don't want to get involved with he investment. But accusing me of something I know nothing about is so rude. Goodbye." There were a couple more exchanges, and our man sent Denise an obscene hand gesture, and then they parted company. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, please share it, please comment down below, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.